What's up, everyone? It's Griebs here from One Last Try, doing another OLT solo session. This time we are playing a little bit of an indie game called Phasmaphobia, which I had played a lot a few months ago, but haven't really touched a lot recently. There's a big update that came through for it. I think it's a fun little game that gives you a little bit of a scare. So we're gonna give it a go. We're gonna go solo on this one, which I don't generally like because it can be a little creepy. Um, but anyway, we're going to go maybe give you a little walkthrough about Phasmophobia if you're not familiar with it. See what the fuss is all about. I know a lot of people really enjoy it, including myself. And essentially, the background is that you are a ghost hunter and you need to find out what ghost is living in this house where you've received some intel about. And the goal is to identify what the ghost is, and that's it. You just have to figure out what kind of ghost it is. You have some items at your disposal. We'll go through those in a minute. You can see them on that equipment list over on the right. But in the meantime, if you are enjoying this content, if you like what you see in terms of some of the solo sessions, some of the group play sessions, the versus sessions that we've got, please feel free to click down below to like and subscribe, because we just keep pumping out more videos and we're having a lot of fun doing it. So here we are. We're just going to do a solo session all by ourselves. There's two options in terms of where we're going to play. We can do the Edgefield Street House, and we're going to go on professional, recommended size of 2. But there's only one of us, and we're going to ready up and go in. And if all goes well, or if all goes terribly, we can get a couple little sessions in here and have a little bit of fun in the process. So, like I said, we have some items at our disposal. Apparently ghosts make things very cold. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab this thermometer. And we're also going to grab the key to the house. There's a little synopsis up here that says, I've done some investigating for you. Looks like the ghost's name is Daniel Smith. We are unsure if the ghost responds alone or to a group. You have to discover by yourself. Good thing we're by ourselves anyway. You should be able to use its name to anger it and get some paranormal activity. Make sure you refer to the journal and write down any evidence you may find. So we need to, number one objective is the main objective, to discover what type of ghost we're dealing with. And then everything else is sort of just an optional thing where we can find evidence with an EMF reader. That's another one of the tools we have. It sort of detects electromagnetic frequency, I want to say. Prevent the ghost from hunting with a crucifix. It's another tool you have, which if you place it in the right place, stops the ghost from doing a hunt. And then have a member of your team witness a ghost event. So this is our sanity. This is where the ghost will hunt you once your sanity drops below a certain amount. So it's important to not let that happen. And the way you can let that not happen is by keeping the lights on. If you go around in the dark, he will be you'll start to sort of go insane. So some of the other tools we have a flashlight here, and then we also have a book. This is a book that is used for ghost writing. And one of the things that certain ghosts do is they will write in the book and things like die or certain cryptic symbols or whatever. So here we go. We're going into the house. And we don't know much about the ghost, but we have the thermometer. And it is 15, so it's getting cold in this room. Now, I know that recently they introduced a new mechanic where the whole house was cold and you have to go warm it up by finding the breaker. So, if I'm smart, I will go to the breaker room. If I was smart, I would have looked at the map to find out where the breaker room was. I think it might be over here then if it isn't in the garage. So the breaker actually changes locations sometimes. And so I open this door. I have made a large mistake, losing valuable time by not checking where the breaker was beforehand. That is what we call in the biz a rookie mistake. Okay, so maybe it's in the basement. Basement, of course, is always the creepiest place for monsters for ghosts to be. The lights do not work because the breaker has been tripped. But here's the breaker. Okay. So you'll hear, if you're listening, creepy noises already. You can say things like, show me a sign, and if the ghost is nearby and cooperative, then you will see signs sometimes where they'll open doors or throw things around. Sometimes you can look around and already find things on the ground, and that's a good indicator that that's the room they're in. And once you know which room they're in, then you can start to yeah, those are the noises I'm talking about. Now, I heard a door closing, but I didn't see any open doors. So where is Ghosty? Give me a sign. Now he won't actually speak unless you have a spirit box. A spirit box is another one of the tools where certain ghosts will respond to a spirit box. Let's turn on this light so our sanity doesn't go too low. At this point, we're not really looking for too much. We're just trying to let the house warm up, get the temperature up a little bit, and then we can find out which room is the cold one. Where are you? But he doesn't really, or she, of course. Not really a lot happening so far. The temperature is slowly going up in certain rooms. So an indicator is when the temperature is below 10. Now, it used to be that the house would start warm, and it was fairly easy to find which. Oh, so there's a bone on the ground. That's a sign of a ghost, but that doesn't indicate at all which room they're in necessarily. So the house would start warm, and it was very easy to find them because you just find the room that has below 10-degree temperature, and then Bob's your uncle. But then I guess that was a little bit too easy. The thermometer became a little bit overpowered, and they said, okay, well, let's make the whole house cold and make you have to walk through the house to even just to warm it up. So you'll see here now everything is above 10, so we're pretty safe over here. The ghost will only hunt if our sanity dips below a certain amount. Unfortunately, we cannot see what our sanity is unless we are in that truck. So we have to go back outside to the truck. But I was hoping that we could at least find out which room the ghost is in. I don't think they're upstairs. So we're going to go back downstairs and look for some ghost activity down there. So still checking the temperatures everywhere. That's still our best indicator. So here it's 17, 16. Give us a sign. Still nothing. So we go over here, 14s. Nothing here. Look for the sort of things tossed on the ground. This is probably going to be a basement ghost because those are the worst. Already checked in the bathroom. Nothing going on in the back foyer. 11.1's chilly, but not cold enough. Not a kitchen ghost. Oh, okay. So we have minus temperatures here. That's a pretty good sign that the ghost is here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the book. We're going to put it on the ground. Oops, that was not a good time to do that. Alright, so let's close this door. So you see the temperature went up again as soon as we close that door. So that's basically where the ghost is. So now we're going to go back to the van. We're going to pick up some more tools. Oh, I wonder if he closed the front door on us. Because that was open before. Little jerk. Okay. So we know that he's in that room. So we don't really need the thermometer anymore. And the fact that there were temperatures that were under 0 means their very first clue is freezing temperatures. So we know that. So here, this is how it works. So there's a journal. which give you, once you have three items, pieces of evidence found, then that will narrow down the type of ghost there is. And then you're basically ready to ship off if you want. So one of the other things we need to find is maybe bring an EMF reader and a spirit box, which is how we can talk to the ghost to see if he's here. Here's a spirit. Is that a spirit box? No. Do I have a spirit box? Yes, here it is. It's been a while. Hello. Okay, so we're going to go to that room. Now sometimes they need to be... Oh, what was that? Oh, that was the car. Stupid guy set off the car horn in the garage. You can see it blinking down there. Dear me. Okay, our sanity is at 62%. So what we can do is we can actually grab one of these and now our sanity's at 100%. So now we know we're still safe because he's not going to go for a hunt. Once he goes for a hunt, things get ugly. The advantage to playing solo, which I don't normally do because it's too scary, is that I get 4 bottles of sanity pills all to myself, whereas normally you only get 1. Where are you? Are you in here? How old are you? So we'll leave this here so we can come back for it later. Give us a sign. Where are you? Hope that car's not running, because then I might be dying in here of carbon monoxide. So now we have an EMF reader. We're hoping that this gets triggered. So 2 is pretty low. We're looking for a 5. That's what would trigger that. We're going to leave this here. Of course, it's upside down. Now there's a 3. That's just the level of activity. It depends on what he's doing. Or she. So let's close this door again, because that way they... So now ghosts can actually walk through doors. There's really no point in closing the door. It's just sort of a sign for ourselves saying, yep, he's definitely in there because he's opening and closing that door. But what does it mean? Not really much of anything. So some of the other things it could be fingerprints. Now we have these special little UV flashlights to help us detect for fingerprints. And it could also be what's called spirit orbs, which are these little orbs that float up in the air I guess, I don't know, just so it shows that there's a ghost there. Now, certain ghosts do this, certain ghosts don't. And we'll see if this ghost does. But to do this, first thing we're going to do is get a camera that has night vision on it. And we're going to put it in the corner of that room so we can see if there are little floating orbs. So we'll take this, we'll stick it in this corner over here. And you always can't forget to turn on the camera. That's got a wide berth of a picture. And now we're looking for fingerprints. You'll notice there's a little bit of smoke every so often. That's because that's our breath. Leg. I don't see any fingerprints on the doors or on the... Show us a sign. Because you didn't already enough. Thank you. Whew. I did not like that. Did not like that at all, one bit. Now, another thing that can happen is you can actually turn on too many lights. I mean, it sounds like the easy option is just turn on all the lights. Oh, there's a 10 on the ghostometer, which is creepy. No, not a 10, but close. A 9. That's probably when my underwear got soiled. Okay, so here we are. Now we need to watch this camera to see if we see any little orbs. They're like little white ping pong balls floating around. So the spirit book so far has been empty. He didn't respond to the spirit box. There are no fingerprints, but the fingerprints only happen when he's actually touched stuff. And so we're watching the screen right now. He hasn't opened the door. He hasn't done anything except for touching the car recently. What other options do we have? Let's have a look. So EMF, that is sitting on the ground in there. Spirit box, we tried talking, no response. Fingerprints might be there. Ghost orb, I don't see any yet. Ghost writing isn't in there. So we're running out of options here. So we're probably going to have to go back in there. But look, we found some evidence of paranormal activity, and we had a member witness a ghost event, which is probably, again, when we peed our pants. Now, it's possible, however unlikely, that there is spirit orbs happening elsewhere in this room, but we can't see them because this isn't capturing the whole room. So one of our later options will be to put down... Oh my goodness, look at this guy, he's busy. Yeah, I'm sure we'd see spirit orbs at this point if there was anything. So our sanity's at 71%. We're okay now. What do we take with us? We'll bring a crucifix to just drop that down. Just that way, if he is getting close to a hunt, if we put the crucifix down within a certain radius of where he is to start the hunt, then it'll actually get nullified. So that's a hope that we can sort of get lucky and plop in the right place at the right time. Oh, what, is that a 5? That is a 5. Okay. Okay, so we have 2. Now we just need one more. And look at that. So we're going to close this door. We have all 3 pieces that we need. So now it's just a matter of how daring do we want to be in terms of getting more money for our job. So you can get money by taking pictures of events or interesting things. Because this is for entertainment value, we're going to go back in there. Oh, don't drop the flashlight. We're going to go to our ghost thing. We're going to say, okay, we found EMF level 5. We found fingerprints. And automatically it's going to deduce from these 3 things that there's only one option left in our ghost type. And it's a banshee. Don't really want to trifle with those. But because, again, we're all on our own, we can take these little pillies, chug them back. The sanity goes through the roof. And we're going to go back in with a still camera and take a picture of the bone. And we might even go into that room and take a picture. So I think I was saying how one idea might be to turn on all the lights. But the problem with that is you can actually blow the breaker by doing that, and you have to go trip it. So that's one of the reasons that actually I'm coming up here to turn off this light, so that doesn't happen. To remember where that bone was. I think it was in the baby's room, which is at the end here, maybe? Not in this room. Nope, not in the bathroom. There are a bunch of different sort of predetermined events that you can, not events, scenarios that you can take photographs of that will give you money. There are Ouija boards sometimes in levels. There are, sometimes the ghost will turn on the water and then it becomes dirty water, like brown, and you take a picture of that, you get money. Just little things that you, and then in the end you wind up using that money for buying more items. Alright, so we pick a picture of the bone, we pick up the bone. Hello, bone. I can't take out the bone. Let's get rid of this. Maybe it's because I have too much stuff. There we go. Alright, so I think we're going to call it. One of the advantages to playing with 4 people is that if one person dies, you can still continue on. But when there's only one person, there's no retry button. So we're going to close up shop, make sure we have Banshee listed in there, and that's what it will determine our final response to be. And now we're going to go back to the main area, and it'll say, congratulations, you've done a great job. Objective number 1 completed. Objective number 2, number 4, I forget what number 3 was. That was crucifix, but that's a hard one to do, especially if we didn't have a sanity below 50. And then we got some pictures for the photos. We picked up a bone, And I'm not sure why we got some insurance money back, but we got some insurance money. The ghost was indeed a banshee, so we were right. And then we had difficulty multiplier, which I think is 3 times, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65, 3 times. Math doesn't add up. I don't know. Can't explain it. So then, oops, I always do that. We can choose another different job. Now there are different levels. Not all of them are always available. There are some really big ones, like this one has a recommended team size of 4. There's smaller ones like this, like the farmhouse has a team of 2. And then there's Tanglewood Street, which is another smaller one. We're going to do this one again now. We're going to add our stuff. This is just all the equipment. Now when you die, you lose all this equipment. So don't die unless you have money to replace it. Under the buy menu, I've got $1,200, so I can afford to replace it. Ready up and start. And this is going to be, I mean, I'll tell you, it's mostly the same. We'll take the same approach. It's a different house, different layout. It'll be a different ghost, different ghosts have different properties and different behaviors. Some ghosts like to play with the lights, some like to be in the dark especially. So there's the house map. And there's the basement. The breaker is in the garage. And this green line right here is where we come in. So we're going to come in, go through the kitchen, laundry room into the garage, flip the breaker. So let's grab our thermometer. Let's grab our spirit book. And we have a flashlight. And let's go inside and have a look. Oh. It doesn't really do a lot, but objective 1 is always the same. Objective 2 is the crucifix again. Objective 3 is using a motion sensor. Objective 4 is the same one we last time, the EMF reader. Now they give you a name. In this case, it's Robert Wilson. You can actually say the name to make it a little bit angry, and it'll do stuff. I'm not really needing to make the ghost angry right now, so I don't think I will be making the ghost angry. So I don't even usually look at the name. Otherwise, I'll just be too tempted to say it. Okay, so first things first, let's go find that breaker. And this time we're gonna... No, I know it's not in the basement, but we are gonna go in the basement just to see if stuff has been strewn about. Give us a sign! So this is where he was last time, in the other room, in the other house. It is a different house, different layout. I think there are 6 different ones in total. There's 7. There's a high school, which is uber creepy. There's an asylum, which is huge, a little bit too big. The newest map is the prison, which, oh, that's a creepy picture. I should have my thermometer out this whole time. The newest map is the prison, which was recently released. It's sort of a medium-sized map, and then there are two or three maybe little. Give us a sign. Sometimes these paint cans are strewn about. I don't see anything on the ground, so that's a good sign that he's not in the basement, because basements, again, like I said, are extra creepy. So there are 2 or 3 sort of residential houses, and there's some like log cabiny kind of houses as well. We're going to turn on a couple lights just to make our sanity not quite so bad. That's probably as many as we'll do. We'll turn it off on our way out. There's a bone. Take note of that. No Ouija board yet. Just a shoe closet. So we're just waiting again for the temperatures to rise a little bit so that we can get a proper bearing on this thermometer. It's still a little bit overpowered, but slightly better than before. This house is different from the other one in that it doesn't have an upstairs, so it's actually a little bit smaller. And so I don't know if you noticed, but that's why this room has a recommended player count of 1. So this is definitely one that can be soloed. Okay, so it looks like temperatures are getting up there, so we'll start looking for them. Where am I? 7.3. Bathroom 7.7. That's good timing on that thunder. 6.2. Is this going to climb up, or? I don't think it's going to be in the bathroom, but we'll see. Give us a sign. I'm not sure what the mechanics of the physics work in terms of heating the house. Does the door have to be open? Are they vents? I mean, it doesn't look like it's this room, so I can probably leave this room. Where are you? Now, if we had a second person with us here, then we could actually have them doing a different ghost hunting method, like with the spirit box, and just going around saying, hey, where are you? Give us a sign. 4.9 is pretty low. Are you in here? This might be a good place to start. Show us the sign. What did I bring with me? The book. Might as well throw the book out there. Yeah, this is not going up. This is, I think, our winner chicken dinner. Okay, so let's assume that that is the case. And we'll head back out. We're going to get that video camera again to check the spirit orbs. It also lets us keep an eye on the room in case they move stuff or what have you. We'll keep the thermometer for now, just because I'm not entirely sure. And then we'll put this on the tripod. Now when you start playing the game, you don't actually have access to the tripod or some of the more advanced tools like the motion sensors or that. Most of those aren't really needed, but the tripod is nice because otherwise you have to position the camera on a structure like a countertop or something. Otherwise it's going to be on the ground, and on the ground you're going to not see everything necessarily. Okay, I wasn't expecting the car thing to go off. I thought... Wait, I thought it was in this room. Was it this room or was it that room? No, it was this room over here. Maybe he's not in this room. He or she. Well, we'll put this right here. Turn it on. Bring out this. See, it's still cold. I'm thinking it's probably in that room. But he'd stricken us by turning on the garage. So, let's go back and get another one of those cameras. We'll plop it up in the garage, and then that way we'll have a look at both of them. We'll watch both and see if we see anything in either of those locations. Now, we're playing on professional difficulty. One of the advantages to professional is you do get more money. Check our sanity, 72. You do get more money at the end. You get a multiplier. But the problem is you have no setup time to go into the house. If you're on amateur, then you get a 5-minute setup of nothing happening. The ghost is not going to attack for 5 minutes. And for intermediate, you get 2 minutes to do that. Now, the ghosts are also a little bit more aggressive the higher you get in terms of difficulty. However, that 2 minutes and 5 minutes I find is kind of redundant because the ghost only attacks you oh, is the breaker off again? Thanks, buddy. The ghost only attacks you if your sanity is below a certain amount, so I don't know that's really a significant advantage. The fact that he flipped the breaker means he's playing with the lights. There are certain ones that like to play with the lights. Sometimes there's a website I have on my second screen that sort of helps me with the different properties of the different ghosts. Some of them move faster, some of them play with light, some of them are afraid of the dark, some of them will always target only one specific character. Alright, so this... Oh, see that in the background? That little ping pong floaty thing? He is in the garage again. So, I was wrong. So here's the key. Here's the monitor viewing station. This lets us turn off the infrared. This lets us change cameras. There's a camera built into the house that we can see the front. This is the one we set up. Winds up being useless. That's okay. We'll have to go back and get our spirit book. this is where he is. Sometimes if you watch this camera, you will actually see them appear, depending on what their activity is. My sanity's still pretty high. It's a small house. We know where it is, so I can drop this now. We'll get a spirit box. We can even save ourselves from going to the room by grabbing another book. And then we'll go back in and we'll start talking to it. And hopefully we will get a response, at which point we can start checking things off of our list. But we can actually mark spirit box. Ghost orb. Where are you? Are you nearby? Are you close? How old are you? What will you do to me? Are you scary? Nothing. I'll put this on here. Alright, let's take our spirit box. Where are you? So even though I'm not holding the spirit box, it'll actually still work. So I can just throw it on the ground there, and every time I walk in that room and speak, it'll automatically trigger, so that I can at least find what the answer is if I overlooked that, or if I didn't listen long enough, or something like that. So we've got the spirit orbs. We have to see if he writes in the box, in the book rather. So now we're going to go in with our EMF reader. But the fact that the orbs are there means we're definitely getting a different ghost than last time, which is nice. And we'll go in with the flashlight, the UV flashlight, to check for fingerprints. So in we go. This game also is available in VR. I've played it with. I wasn't playing VR, but a friend of mine was VRing with it, and it's a bit of a challenge. Certainly not as smooth to control, but it is possible. I'm not sure if the scare factor is higher or lower, but something at least to consider if you do have VR and you're enjoying this game. What am I looking for? Any writing? Okay, so we have writing in the book. So two of our guesses, two of our evidences are here. I do not like turning off my flashlight for... I also hear weird things. I think we'll take a small break, get some sanity pills. We have two things. We'll mark them both off. So as I was saying before, there are websites that let you sort of say, okay, well, these are the first two pieces of evidence that I've got. What are the options? Because if you've got, let's say, for example, spirit orbs and spirit book, that doesn't necessarily mean there's one more ghost for each of the remaining options. So we could actually probably narrow it down to only two types of evidence, so we can make it a little bit easier for us to find. But we don't have that website here. So we're going to say ghost orb and ghost writing. We're going to check on our sanity. It's getting a little close to 50. I think 50 is the cutoff where bad things start to happen. We haven't used our EMF yet, really, so let's drop that, grab the sanity, check up and down, go back in. I feel a little bit better going in now because I got full sanity. And then maybe we'll do a little bit of EMF. And then if it spikes at a 5, then we're golden. We could go back and take a picture of that bone. Right now you can only, oh sorry, I should have mentioned you can only hold 3 objects at a time, and basically one of them is always devoted to your flashlight. So yeah, I can hold 2 things at a time. Give me a sign. I thought I heard him, but I don't see anything on my EMF. I hate this. Close the door. Where are you? I wish I could turn this car off. Turn off the car. Maybe I'll just take this and I'll... That's the flashlight. This is this guy. Throw that on the ground. Keep an eye on him. Give me a sign. Turn off the light. Turn on the light. You're being annoying. Now the spirit orbs were coming from this area. I don't know if he does that. Give me a sign. Hello, where are you? So EMF is quiet. So here are the options we have. EMF, which is quiet right now. Spirit box, we've tried, it's nothing. Fingerprints we can't find. We got that one, we got that one. Freezing temperatures is not the case because we don't see our breath, and the thermometer didn't go below 0. So now we just have to wait for him to give us a sign. I heard something. Maybe you're over here. You're not over here, are you? Just looking for any types of fingerprints around here. So if you saw them previously, they were green. I kind of didn't stick around because I was noping out of there. But I don't see anything here. Where are you? Nothing detected still. This is still quiet. Give us a sign. Oh, I thought that was him, but that's just the thunder. Okay, so I mean, we could say Robert. Try to anger him a little bit. It's not working. Give us a sign. Another option is to turn on the light, and then we can leave and then come back and see if watch the camera, and if he turns off the light, then we kind of run back in and try to get fingerprints on the light switch, see if that's a thing. It's also a good opportunity to sort of check in on our sanity levels. We have been in there for a bit with the lights off. Apparently if you run, your sanity drops a little bit quicker than normal as well. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not. I will run when I'm outside, because I assume it doesn't happen there, but make sure we still see spirit orbs, and we do. So we turn off. So is the light on? Looks like the lights are on. Okay, what's our sanity at? 76%. So while we wait to see if he turns those off, let's see if we can bring with us a camera and take a picture of those bones. And if we're lucky, we might even see him and take a picture of him, because you can actually take a picture of the ghost too. And sometimes there'll be kid ghosts, sometimes there'll be old people ghosts, older adult ghosts. It's interesting that we got 2 car alarm ghosts, though. We just like playing with car alarms. I don't remember where that. Oh, yes, I do. Okay, we got a bone, and we got a picture of a bone. That'll give us a little bit of money. What was the guy's name? Robert Smith? Robert? Give us a sign. Where are you? Sometimes you can get just a little frustrated and say, hey, you know what, this guy isn't really providing a sign, like a third clue that you need. You can take a guess at it. The 2 ones that are a little bit hard to sometimes get are the fingerprints, because they have to actually touch something in order for the fingerprints to work. And then the other one is the EMF reader, because it doesn't always trigger a 5. Now, interestingly enough, those orbs were there. Perhaps they were from this other room, this adjoining room. Maybe he's in here. Give me a sign. Oh, he turned off the light, or he turned off the breaker. That's right. I am turning back the breaker on. But I know he's close by now. He gave me a sign. There was no EMF activity and no flashlight. I mean, no. Awesome. Okay, that's where I. Okay, what we got? A 5? A 4. Frag, stop doing that. He's not happy. I'm not happy either. Alright, so still no. Nothing. I think we're gonna nope out of here a little bit. We're gonna. Making it a little bit tough for me to find him out. He did flip the switch. There was no fingerprints. We're gonna guess EMF, and if we're wrong, we're wrong. But we're leaving with our lives, and in the end, isn't that always a win? So let's go into the van. We'll mark off what we know. We'll check what objectives we missed. We missed the crucifix one. That one would have been good to have. Motion sensor might have been nice to sort of identify where he was traveling. The motion sensors can be good when there are more than one person because they'll actually appear up on this map, and then one person can be in the van and point out and say, okay, the ghost is over there now, and then relaying that information to the people that are in the house. But with one person, it becomes a little bit of a challenge. So let's go into the journal. We're going to guess that this was an EMF level 5, since that one is a little bit hard to reproduce sometimes. It is a shade. If I had my Phasmaphobia site open, I could tell you what a shade does and see if the properties of what we saw match that. But we're going to close this up and say, fingers crossed, hope this was it. And we'll find out in a moment. We were right, it was a shade. So we got some money for the objective 1, some photos, some bone evidence, and we got $145 out of it. So that is Phasmaphobia. It can be a little bit scary at times, especially when you're doing professional on some of the bigger maps. It can be really fun though with multiple people, as you get to hear your friends screaming. But definitely, even in just what I did right there, although we didn't see any ghosts, which was too bad, it was still scary. We didn't get any hunts because we were smart about our sanity pills, and we also played on very small maps. But certainly there are times when you're playing with multiple people that you can get lots of hunts, and it is scary, just like hide in a closet kind of scary as you're trying to get back out to the van. But that is all she wrote. Hopefully you enjoyed this special solo series of Phasmaphobia. And if you enjoyed it, please feel free to make some comments down below, because we can keep on doing some more, and maybe even bring Bino and Cook into this as well, because they do also play Phasmaphobia. It is a one last try favorite, I think. All right, so signing off. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.